we are back together again. Here we go. It is English Addict once more, coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language. We have a very cold day. In fact, I noticed this morning there is a forecast for snow on Tuesday. Can you believe it? Here we go then. English Addict is back. Coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language. You know where it is. I know where it is. Come on, Mr. Duncan. Get on with it.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
Oh, yes. We are having fun, everyone. Or at least the nearest thing to it. It might not be exactly fun, but we are trying our best. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you feeling okay? Are you happy? I hope so. Because today is a special English Addict. It is the final, the last ever English Addict of 2025. The final one. The next time you see me here, it will be next year. But don't worry, you only have a week to wait for that to arrive. So here we are again. It's nice to see you here. I hope you've all had a good time over the festive period. For those who were celebrating Christmas, I hope you had a good time. Of course, technically, we are still celebrating Christmas because many people here in the UK and I'm sure around the world are still enjoying the Christmas period. And of course, I suppose it is worth mentioning that certain countries will not celebrate Christmas until a little bit later because they follow a different calendar. So, Merry Christmas to those who will be celebrating Christmas in a few days from now. Anyway, Christmas, I suppose for many people, is out of the way. It is now the past tense. Most people now will be looking forward to the new year. And yes, every single year, we all do the same thing, don't we? As the old year fades away, we all make our plans for the new year because we want to improve ourselves. I suppose you might say that is the goal of all human beings. Well, most of us anyway. We want to improve ourselves. And quite often, as the new year approaches, we think of ways in which we can make our lives better. We want to improve ourselves in some way. As the new year arrives, we want to be a new person for the new year. So we often make resolutions, plans for the new year. We will be talking about that in a few moments from now. Hello to the live chat. It is nice to see you here today. He will be here in a moment for those waiting. He will be here in around about 1 minute from now. Are you excited? I hope you are. So we had a lovely Christmas. I hope you did as well. Congratulations. Well done to Flower Espoir. You are first on today's live chat. Congratulations to you. We have Valentin. We have lots of people here today. Of course, we have Luis Mendez is here today. Hello, Luis. Wonderful news from you. I hope you and all your family, your nearest and dearest, I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas time. That would make a good title for a song, wouldn't it, when you think about it? Okay, enough waiting. I know you are all very impatient. To be impatient means you can't wait for something to happen. So you don't have to wait much longer because he is on his way. He is coming. He is, in fact, about to arrive. It is the one, the only, not Santa Claus. It is, in fact, Mr. Steve.
Hello, wonderful, beautiful viewers from across the globe. Here we are once again. It's after Christmas. We've had a very relaxing time, haven't we, Mr. Duncan? Valentin, by the way, says that it's nice to see you in a good mood, Mr. Duncan. Mr. Duncan is always in a good mood when he's doing a live stream because he loves to be with you all and to teach you English.
I'm always in a good mood.
That is true. And you've been in a very good mood over Christmas, as have we both, because I think my New Year resolution for this year is total relaxation.
Yes.
Is escaping the stresses and strains of everyday life.
And
getting my body back to some kind of baseline state of health.
Baseline.
Yes, but I want to press a reset button. Do you often think that sometimes you just want to press a reset button?
Yes.
And return back to a time when your health, your body just hummed along at perfect sort of pace. Everything was working. Stress wasn't getting in there, because I think stress causes a lot of interference with your bodily functions.
Well, I suppose I should mention, Steve, because last week we did announce a big change in your life because you have now officially retired.
Stop working.
Oh, Steve, let me just finish. You see, this is the reason why we had to have less of you, because we need a flow, you see, on here. This is one of the things Steve announced last week, that he's retiring, he's stopping his work, but he will continue doing things, you see. So this is a very strange period of time for us, because I am still getting used to the idea, and Steve is still thinking about this new situation that we find ourselves in, where he hasn't retired. He does not like the word retired.
No.
You see it as some sort of, maybe some sort of giving up, but it isn't, because now you have a new chapter in your life coming along.
By the way, 37 degrees in Buenos Aires. Or Buenos Aires. I don't know how you pronounce it. Buenos Aires or Buenos Aires? I don't.
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires, says Claudia. So that is very hot. So we're not even 7 degrees here. I think we're about 4 degrees, something like that.
Yes.
So big difference. Watching us in that kind of a heat. It would be nice to have something. Maybe 20 would be nice. 37's a bit too much.
Yes.
But we do like the changing seasons. That's what we like about living in the UK, because you adapt. This morning, Mr. Duncan, because cold therapy is supposed to be very good for you.
Is
the
it?
latest health sort of fad is people having very cold showers or plunging themselves into very cold water,
Yes.
which is supposed to be good for your immune system. I think it's rubbish, but people do it. And this morning I went outside and I was virtually naked. It's only 5 degrees. The wind was blowing. You didn't see me, Mr. Duncan.
Oh.
I took my top off.
Thank goodness.
And I just walked around in the cold air. And now I feel invigorated.
So let
I'm
me
sure
just
my
get-
health has been multiplied many factors.
Okay. Are you okay? Why are you talking like this?
I'm just talking, Mr.
You're
Duncan.
talking
because
in a
I
very
know-
weird way. You're using very strange words, baselines and factors. This is a very unusual way of talking. So apologies to all the neighbours, because Mr. Steve was apparently walking around the garden naked.
I'm sure
Everything
next
had-
door's cameras have picked me
oh,
up.
Okay, Steve. Let me just again. Oh, thank goodness we won't be seeing you for a while. Let me just carry on.
Relax.
Steve,
Yes.
this is how it works. I'm the presenter, the main host. You're the guest. It's that way round.
Yes, and the guests should be treated with respect.
Well, I'm trying my
and should
best.
be allowed to speak whenever they want to speak.
Okay,
Don't you
then.
agree, viewers?
Come on, Steve. Give us all of your philosophy then.
Well, I haven't got any. That's it.
Oh, okay. That didn't take long.
I'm not here for long. Shall we explain that, Mr.
Ooh,
Duncan?
Yes.
I'm not here for long today,
I'm strangely relieved by that.
mainly because Mr. Duncan doesn't want me to be here for long. No, he's got important things to teach you, you see.
Yes, we are looking at the words and phrases and ways of describing attachment. To be attached, to attach things together. So that is what we will be looking at a little bit later on. But Steve, as I mentioned a few moments ago, as I try to get my live stream back onto its format, we are coming towards 2026. Now, between you and me, I can't believe that it will be 2026 next week. It doesn't seem very long since we were all enjoying that strange thing that happened in 2020. And soon it will be 6 years since that happened. You know what I'm talking about out there. But here we are now, approaching 2026. We are literally in the future. This is like science fiction. Now, according to science fiction movies and stories, we should now be living on Mars. We should have colonized the moon. We should now have flying cars. And we have none of those things. Nothing like that. But we are in the future. And I'm not sure how it feels at the moment. I haven't made up my mind. But, Steve, it brings me on to an interesting thought that's popped into my head. A lot of people at this time of year start to think about changes that they could make. Change your life, even. Something you might want to do, something you might want to think about changing. So this is something we always do at this time of year, isn't it, Steve? We start to make plans for the following year, but also we want to make ourselves better in some way. We call them resolutions. New Year resolutions. So what about you, Steve? Now, you are going to have a lot of free time over the next 30 or 40 years because Mr. Steve plans on living for a very long time, don't you?
Yes, because Halley's Comet comes back in 2061, and I will be 100 years old then. So I wish to see it and be a celebrity because I will be a man 100 years old watches Halley's Comet come back. That's got to be newsworthy. So I'm going to wait for that. I'll be famous at last, Mr. Duncan. By the way, people jump into the cold sea, says Christina, near where she lives, plunging into the cold water. Yes, in fact, there was a bit of a tragedy here in the UK because people do that over Christmas. They go and swim in the sea. Groups of people in Devon do it. It's quite popular. It's unsupervised. There's nobody there supervising it, and a number of people. The seas were very rough, and I think there was a bit of a tragedy that happened on the south coast of the UK. But yeah, I like to swim in the sea, but I don't like going if it's very rough, cold weather. So so what were we talking about? New Year resolutions. Yes, relax, de-stress. But we often make these resolutions, don't we? We resolve ourselves that we will do something new. And we often do it for maybe a few days or a few weeks. And then life gets in the way. Work, family, housework.
Laziness.
Yes, and those ideals that when we get a moment of time, when we are on holiday, and our thoughts are away from work, family, things like that, suddenly your brain starts to tell you, what if I could do this or that? And you get these ideas and these ideas that you want to do something. And then if you are allowed the time and space to do it, maybe you would. But often we have these for a few weeks. I often go on holiday, write down all these things I want to do, new way, new start, new way of living. And I start it for a few days or weeks in the new year. And then, as I say, work gets in the way or something gets in the way. And you just sort of drift back into your old habits. Because if you want to create a new healthy habit, well, any habit, you've got to do it for I think about 2 months or something. So in order for it to become a habit, a regular thing, you've got to do it for a period of time. So I think that's the secret. Rather than have lots and lots of things you want to do, stick to one, do it for, I think it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that, and then it becomes a new habit. Anyway, that's my philosophy.
I think the hardest part, of course, is starting to do that thing. So I think we talked about this last week, I'm sure, about starting something new. The hardest part is always beginning it, making those first moves. So most people at this time of year start to look at their lives. They might think, I want to make changes in the new year. Quite often it will be related to one of two things. Your work situation. Maybe you are thinking of changing your job, moving into a new profession, and of course your health. Most people at this time of year think about their health. What can I do in the new year to make my health better? What can I do to improve my health? And, as I just said, you might be thinking of starting a new career. Maybe you have a business idea, something you want to change. So I would say, Steve, you are in a very comfortable position because you suddenly have freedom.
Yes, but with that freedom comes the if your mind isn't filled with work or something else, something has to take its place, and all that sort of processing time that your brain was doing things, and work is quite a focus. It was always quite a focus for me because I knew I had to have these goals to achieve this, to do that, to go and see customers, set this up, do that, and they're sort of ongoing goals, things to achieve.
Yes.
I did enjoy it, so I've got to have something to replace that with, otherwise I'm going to go mad. I'm going to be constantly nitpicking Mr. Duncan, and I don't want to develop this habit of, I've seen some people retire and they go over the top with cleaning the house and micro down to the absolute minutest of details.
They try to do too much.
Yes, try to fill that time with something. I want to do it with something positive, something maybe more music. Maybe I'll be with Mr. Duncan on every live stream forever. Would fill a lot of my time and would give me that sort of outlook, that sort of, I like to sort of talk to people, and even though I'm not getting much back, although I do on the live chat, which is very, very good to look. I'm rambling, Mr. Duncan, I'm rambling.
I feel like you're waiting for me to stop you.
You are too young to retire, Paco.
Oh.
37 years old. I need to retire. It's too young. My mother said to me when I was 60, I said I was thinking of retiring, and she said, you're too young to retire. By the way, would be my mother's birthday today. Happy birthday to my mother. She would be 95 today.
I always thought your mother's birthday was on the 29th.
28th.
Oh, isn't that strange?
So it is today. We'll be going out for a meal, but we're not.
Because quite often we would meet up on the 29th, wouldn't we? So that's the reason why. So can we say a little hello to Steve's mum, wherever you are at the moment? Ethereal Mr. Steve's mum. Somewhere.
She's listening.
I hope she's not watching.
That's true, yes.
Yeah. That is always the thing that's worried me about this whole afterlife thing. If your friends and family can watch you, then that means they're watching everything you're doing. And I have to say, I do like a little bit of privacy. So if the afterworld or the afterlife is watching, would you mind setting your privacy button to come on whenever I'm doing anything that I don't want you to see? Thank you very much for that. But happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday to Mr. Steve's mother, and we do miss her every day. In fact, we're going to see her grave on Monday. We're going to visit your sister and family on Monday.
Tomorrow.
Yes, that's it. So we will be doing that tomorrow, putting some flowers and saying a little hello to your mum. But back to the land of the living, or Mr. Steve, who is kind of in between when you think about it. So we always think of changing things. See, now I'm going to do the same thing that I do every year, and that is to try and take care of my health, because I'm not getting any younger. I am younger than Mr. Steve, but I am no longer a spring chicken, as they say. So I suppose I'm going to do the same thing I do every year. I'm going to say I'm going to take care of myself, eat less, exercise more, especially after Christmas, because we have eaten so much food, haven't we, Steve?
Yes, but strangely enough, when I normally overeat, I normally get indigestion, acid reflux. But I haven't this year. And I think it's because, and I read somewhere that in this yoga book, a very ancient book on pranayama yoga, it's to do with breathing and things like that. There's lots of books on yoga. That if your body is relaxed, you can eat anything and you won't get indigestion. Because according to this book, it's indigestion and acid reflux is all caused by internal tension,
Yes.
and stress. And you don't realise, I think a lot of the time you don't realise you're in a state of stress, anxiety. You don't actually realise it because you become used to it. You become so used to living in a certain way that you don't realise that maybe you are in a stressed state. And so the last few days, I've been so chilled out, it's unbelievable.
I'm going
eating all sorts of things.
I am going to say straight away that I can't remember the last time I saw you looking so relaxed. In fact, we can see it on camera today. If you look at Steve right now, you can tell that he is relaxed.
Am I? Really? Can you tell?
Yes. Well, I can tell. I can see it. I can certainly feel it.
And yet I've been abusing my body with food, and yet I haven't had not even a hint of indigestion. So normally, sometimes I can have beans on toast and get indigestion, or just anything. Eating late at night, the worst possible thing.
Yeah.
We've been doing it. Nothing.
Christmas Day, we consumed. Now, I am ashamed to say we consumed a lot of food on Christmas Day. We were still eating, as Steve just said, we were still eating at midnight.
Just constantly eating. It's Christmas. Everybody tends to do that at Christmas.
Yes.
But I was struck by the lack of indigestion and acid reflux. So I think it is all to do with being relaxed. And so that's going to be a priority to find out, to rediscover what not being stressed feels like.
Yes.
And because you just, as I said, you just get used to rushing around, doing things, getting agitated, and it's causing, over a long period of time, a detriment to your body. Detriment, there's a word, Mr. Duncan.
Yes. Detriment is to cause problems or make something worse.
Yes.
Or to lower the standard of something. So detriment is always something negative. The detriment.
Lack of exercise is detrimental to your health. Bad. It's a posh word for bad, really.
So I always think the new year is an interesting period of time because everyone feels, I suppose, energized. You are full of energy and you are looking forward to the new year. The only difference between all of us is how long it lasts for, how long that feeling lasts for. Because once January has passed, all of the problems and all of the distractions of life come back. And before you know what's happening, you are back to where you were, worrying about life, things, people. Do I have enough money? Do I have enough wealth to survive? Will I be able to make it through another year? And then all of those worries come back. So I think a lot of it is down to this up here, this lump of clay in your skull.
Work, although it can be stressful at times, is also a distraction away from minor problems. And so that's a trap that I've got to be careful not to get into, that I don't start worrying about silly little things that I wouldn't have worried about before, but because my mind can easily focus on it now because it's not being distracted with work, I might worry about, I don't know, some silly thing that I wouldn't normally, or just dismiss it as nothing. So that well, Lewis makes a point here that Lewis said he retired at 66 years of age, which was the first 3 years were fantastic, but then I missed my work friends. Yes, you see, that's what I'm going to miss work colleagues and also seeing my customers, because I've known a lot of my customers for 30 years, some of them. So I'm going to miss going to see them, even though it was essentially a business transaction. We still were sort of friends, not friends outside work. I never was that friendly with somebody, a customer, that I would see them outside work. But there was still that respect that, oh, how are you? Have you had a holiday? We'd talk about our families and things like that before we got down to business. But so I shall miss that. But I've got Mr. Duncan and I've got you wonderful people. But enough about that.
So the social aspect of life, although I think this is a new chapter beginning for us because we can make new friends. Already we've made friends with our new neighbours. We have some lovely new neighbours and they are fantastic, and we've seen quite a lot of them, and I have a feeling over the next couple of days we will be seeing a lot of them again.
Christina says, I have so much energy that I can't release it all, which is why I don't feel well. Absolutely need to. Yes, you see, Yes, well, we've obviously met you. We know what you're like. You have got lots of energy, lots and lots of energy, and I'm almost jealous because I'm the sort of opposite of that. But I don't know why that is. I think my mother was like that. She always had lots of energy. She'd wake up in the morning, bang, she was straight awake doing things. She always had lots of energy. And people say that they think I've got lots of energy, but in fact, I don't really. So, yeah, maybe that's, I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. But
Okay.
Yes, I would like to sometimes just have a lot of energy and not know what to do with it. That would be quite nice, I think. I'll take some of yours, Christina.
Well, I think you can do too much or do too little. So it is always about having that medium, that happy medium where you are comfortable with what you are doing, but you're not doing too much and you're not doing too little, where you get to the point where you feel bored. So it's always a balance. All of life is a balance. Sometimes you have to have your own time to yourself. Sometimes you are doing things with other people. It is all about balance. It is rather like the yin and yang. It's that sort of thing where the two things flow together, but there is always a perfect balance. I think so. So what about you, Mr. Steve? What is your big resolution? If you had one thing that you could mention straight away from just anything really that you want to do in 2026? What would it
Find
be?
a new job. No, I'm joking. Yeah, well, I think I've already mentioned that. Just to learn to return back to a sort of baseline, healthy level of no stress. Not no stress. You can't have no stress.
No, that's impossible.
But maybe manage stress in a better way and adapt to a new way of living. So let's see what happens. How about you, Mr. Duncan? Is it health? Have
Well-
you already mentioned that you want to get
Well,
healthier?
I suppose my health is in there, but of course, this is also an important part of my life, something I want to concentrate on. I don't want to lose focus on this particular thing. And of course, let's not forget, next year, Steve, it is a big year because it will be the 20th anniversary of this, my YouTube channel. 20 years old next year. And I think also it is safe to say we will be passing 2 million subscribers next year as well. So I have a feeling, between you and me, Steve, I think we are going to have quite a busy 2026. There is going to be quite a lot going on. I think it is safe to say. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you heard, Steve, some sad news. Brigitte Bardot has passed away.
I read that
Yes. Well, it's not a contest.
earlier. No,
97 was it?
90 something.
Yes, late high 90s.
French film goddess.
Yes.
Yes, led mostly a life as a recluse from her late 30s. Where did she live? It was she lived in sort of a converted fisherman's hut or something. She loved nature, didn't she? And but yes, one of the true stars of the screen, obviously shocked people at the time with the way that she performed in front of the camera. Today it would seem very tame, but back then in the sort of 50s and 60s it was quite very different, quite daring, quite risque.
I suppose you would describe her as a sex symbol.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh yes, definitely. But now there are sex symbols everywhere, so it's very difficult to stand out in the way that somebody like that did back then. All the film stars of that era, the 50s, particularly in the 50s, 60s, there were so few of them that they really were stars in the true sense of the word. I don't know whether we really have stars like that anymore, do we?
I think we do, Steve. I think we do. It's just that there's many of them.
Yes.
The market is completely saturated with people who all want to be famous. So I think it's a lot harder these days to rise to the top. Apparently 91. She was 91. But a sad loss. Also, this week we lost Chris Rea as well, an artist who has been around for many, many years, from the 70s. I'm sure he was also producing music, involved in music in the late 60s as well. But the 70s, definitely the 1980s. Most people know his song Driving Home for Christmas, a big hit. And I suppose strangely ironic as well that he should pass away just before Christmas time, rather like George Michael as well, because he wrote a song. He had a song all about Christmas, and he passed away on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that's true.
A number of years ago. So sad news. I think so. Yes, I don't like to hear of famous people, especially people who have touched many others' lives, passing away. But yeah, sad news. But as they say, that is life, isn't it, Steve?
It is. Christina Bourne. Talking of health, I have started with chia seeds.
Oh.
Now that's very interesting you should mention that, because I bought some chia seeds
Yes.
Did I not, Mr. Duncan?
You
A
did.
few months ago.
And I didn't know what they were.
This big packet of chia seeds, and I've been trying to find a way of introducing them into my diet because they're very strange. I tried putting them in bread. That wasn't very nice. But you've got to be very careful with them, I was reading recently. I think they're very good for your guts, aren't they? They've got lots of omega-3 and they're supposed to be very healthy. But you shouldn't eat them when they're dry, apparently, because you should only eat them, you should soak them for several hours, if not overnight, because they turn into this sort of mucilage. And if you eat them dry, you can become very ill. You can get blockages and all sorts of things.
Does it expand?
Yes, the seeds, when you put them in water, I've done this. I've put them in a glass of water, and at first they're just sort of distributed in the water, and you come back an hour later, and the whole thing's turned into like this gel.
Oh.
And they just suck up water. I think that's part of their health benefit. They could sort of pass through and in a nice smooth way.
Mm.
But Christina, yes, apparently it can be quite dangerous if you consume for example, people sprinkle them onto yogurts and things like that. Well, apparently that can be very bad for you, because then when you consume them, it's all the water, they turn into a lump. So you've got to soak them in water first, otherwise you can end up in hospital, apparently.
Goodness. Well,
they're so hydrophobic means they don't like water, but they absorb a lot of water and then expand, so you've got to be careful, I think. So probably you know that, but they are supposed to be very good for you.
They are very absorbent.
But they're not very pleasant. I haven't if you put them into water and then drink them, it's like drinking slime.
Oh, is this the stuff that I keep finding in glasses? So quite often in the morning when I come down, I notice in the kitchen there is a glass with all of this strange green slime. It looks like green slime. Is that what it is?
Greens. It's not green. Well,
seeds. There are tiny little things inside, but from far away it looks green.
Yeah, Christina soaks them overnight.
Mm.
Yes, which well, you've obviously read about the best way to use them, but they are supposed to be very good for you. So I'm going to try introducing them, but they can make you feel a bit bloated.
Yeah.
If you have too much of them. So it'd be interested to see how what effect they've been having on you in terms of regular movements.
Okay, Steve. Let's keep it festive.
I'm being corrected again. I thought you were going to chuck me off after about 10 minutes.
No. You can stay for another couple of minutes, and then we have a big subject to talk about.
Sukat talked about chia seeds as well.
Hello, Sukat.
Hello, Sukat. And then mix them with fruit and yogurts. Yes, you have to soak them, which is apparently some people have ended up in hospital because they just sort of sprinkle them onto their food and don't realise that you have to let them absorb some water before you. I've only taken them a few times. Haven't really noticed anything happening, but then you don't with these kind of health foods, do you? You don't suddenly notice a big difference.
Oh no.
Maybe there's subtle differences that over time you might see some results you might not really realise, but it's having some kind of benefit.
Yes.
It's like vitamins and all these. There are so many so-called health foods that you can take. You could end up being obsessed with some regime, couldn't you? Of taking pills.
I sometimes think you are like that.
I'm a bit like that. Yes, I take this tablet. I take a fish oil tablet,
Yes.
and then I'll
anyway,
take.
Steve, we've got to kind of moved on a bit. I'd love to talk about your health regime all day. But we have to move on slightly. The other thing to mention, by the way, is I don't really take vitamins and things, and yet I get ill. I become ill less than Steve does. If there are any fevers or colds going around, Steve will get it and I won't. So really, when you think about it, who is the healthiest? Is it Steve or me?
I do catch lots of colds. We know this, but there must be a reason for that. But you do stay quite healthy. Well, from cold, I mean, yeah, maybe you don't get colds, but maybe internally you're rotting away,
Yes.
and we can't see it yet.
Maybe one day I will just explode.
Yes.
I will just detonate. That's it. It's over. As long as no one is nearby.
You can guarantee that all the social media and the newspapers and the news will be filled with ways of you becoming healthier in 2026. And everyone's looking for the sort of smart fix, a tablet that will some magic food, some magic like chia seeds that will solve every health problem. But of course, life isn't like that, is it?
No, it's like everything though. It's so easy to overdo it because you think if something is healthy, if I do it more, I will be more healthy. But it doesn't work like that. It's rather like exercise. Some people become crazy about doing exercise. They do it too much and then they make themselves ill. So the whole thing is reversed. Instead of becoming fitter, they actually become more unhealthy because they are overdoing that particular thing. Anyway, Mr. Steve, I'm sure you know what's coming now.
What's coming now?
Well, or should I say what is going now?
Oh, am I going?
It is time for me to continue with my subject today. I mean, you can stay if you want, but I have a feeling you've got one or two chores to do outside, should I say?
I do.
Yes.
Yes, Zucat, I've tried every known cure, vitamin C. I've tried everything. Nothing works. But fine. That's just my cross to bear, as they say. If you've got a cross to bear, there's something in your life that causes you distress, a burden in your life, a cross to bear. Like, obviously, Jesus carrying the cross, it was a heavy burden. So, metaphorically, we all have these crosses to bear, something in our lives which burdens us, causes us distress.
Yes.
Anyway, I was going to say something inappropriate then about Mr. Duncan, but I won't.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
please.
right, I'm off, Mr. Duncan.
Please, Steve. Please.
To do something around the house, I don't know what, but I shall do something. I shall find some activity to use up some energy and enjoy the rest of Mr. Duncan's lesson. And I look forward to seeing you. Not sure when I will be here next time, but I will be here at some point. And hopefully with some words of wisdom and something to teach you.
Okay.
So until then, have a lovely time. And if I don't see you beforehand, have a very happy new year.
Yes, because the next time we are together will be next weekend. And, of course, it will be 2026. Thank you very much, Mr. Steve.
Bye for now.
And there he goes. That was Mr. Steve, for those wondering what Mr. Steve looks like. And that is what he does. He talks sometimes with us on the live chat. This is English Addict, as my voice begins to break on a Sunday afternoon. In a few moments we are looking at the subject of being attached. Ah, the lovely cows. And guess what? as I was trying to say a few moments ago, guess what? We have some animals right now at the back of the house. They have recently joined us. And I'm very excited about it.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun.
We are having fun today. I hope you are enjoying the last ever English Addict in 2025. I am back with you next Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time, and yes, I will be with you all the way through the new year, every Sunday with you live, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday as well. We haven't finished just yet. There is still today's subject to talk about. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, we have, at the back of the house, we had a big surprise on Christmas Eve when suddenly, without warning, the back of the house was full of sheep. So at the moment we have sheep at the back of the house. They are at the moment a little shy because they've only just arrived, but we do have lots of sheep. So I will try to film them during the week and show you them next week on the live chat. But yes, we do have lovely, lovely sheep at the back of the house. Today we are looking at an interesting subject. We are looking at the subject of, well, a certain word. The word is attach. It is a word that might be used in many ways. We can use it literally, and also we can use it figuratively as well. So that is what we are doing for the rest of today's English Addict. We are looking at the word attach. And as you can see, what I've done up there is I've used the word to describe what it actually means in the form of an illustration up there. To attach things, to attach objects together. And that is what we are looking at over the next few minutes. The word attach is a verb that means join or fix together. You join things together. You might attach one thing to another. You connect things together. You are doing that thing. You are doing it as an action. To join or fix together. The action of connecting or joining two things to each other is attach. One thing and another thing are connected together. You connect them. You attach them. To connect one thing to another thing. To attach. To attach one thing to another. In this situation, you see, you attach the car to the tow truck. You are joining those two things together. This, of course, you might describe it as towing as well. To attach one thing so you can move it. You tow that thing away. T-O-W. Tow. So in this sense, we are doing this temporarily, not permanently. You are just doing that thing to achieve an action. One thing is joined to another. So in this situation, you attach the car to the tow truck. To tie things together as a permanent join. So in this sense, for example, tie two pieces of rope together. You attach those things. They are joined together. You attach them. Attach one piece of rope to another or with another. You attach one thing with another thing. They form a connection. Quite often we use the word attach to say one thing has been fixed to another. Attach one thing to another physically. So in this sense, it is objects, things that are being attached to each other. Something is joined to another thing. It is a thing that exists. We are using it in the literal sense. Attach in the literal sense of two things being joined. So here in the picture, you can see two things being joined. One thing is being attached to another. The basic meaning of the word attach. You might attach in the figurative sense. So you are talking about emotion, feeling, a connection that you feel. You become attached to something. Quite often you use it in the sense of two things being joined, physically or emotionally, figuratively. So attach can be used in more than one way. It can be used figuratively or literally. To attach oneself to another person emotionally. You can, of course, become attached. You attach yourself to another person emotionally through some sort of bond that you have together. We often describe it as an emotional bond. The emotional bond means you become attached. You are connected with your emotions. Love is a many-splendid thing. It is often talked about, expressed in many ways. So love is a type of attachment, the thing itself. We are using it in the noun sense. In this sense, the word attachment is the noun that describes that connection, the emotional bond between people. And most of the time we do think about love as being a type of attachment. To give importance to a moment or event. So again, you might be using it figuratively. A feeling you have relating one thing to another. These things connect emotionally. Something you feel inside, something you feel emotionally can form an attachment to something else, to attribute or ascribe. So that means you are relating one thing to another. You are connecting those things together, not physically, but emotionally. Something you remember, a memory you have, something from your past that you always feel, I remember that time. You feel attached to that moment of time that happened in the past. You might attach a certain season or a period of time to a certain type of event or activity. For example, you might attach summer with vacations. So that particular time of year, you always think of going on holiday. Those two things are connected in a certain way because they relate to each other. During the summer months, quite often you will go on holiday. You attach those things. You put them together. They seem to go together because they have a connection. You might become part of an organisation with a certain position or role. You have responsibility. You have a position. You become attached. To attach one person to a certain job or a certain position. In that sense, we are saying you have become responsible for that particular thing. Now, that is your responsibility. You are attached to that particular job or position in a company. In an office, for example, you might be attached to accounts. That is the department in which you work. That is your function within the company. That is what you are attached to in your job. It is your responsibility. Attachment, of course, as I mentioned a few moments ago, is a noun. Attachment. You attach two things together. The attachment is the connection that takes place. You can see here two things have become attached. They have an attachment. To be attached means joined, attached to accounts. So again, we can go back to the previous slide, which showed a person doing a certain job, carrying out a certain task. Attachment, as a noun, can also mean emotional attachment. You are in love with someone. As I said a few moments ago, to attach something can be physical or emotional. You feel attached. You have an attachment. You are in love. Ah, how romantic. Houses can be attached. They can be joined together. Two houses or many houses that are joined together. So there is no space in between them. They are all connected. They are attached to each other. So here you can see attached houses. These houses are attached to each other. They are joined together. Quite often we will describe any house that joins another house as being attached. There are many ways of expressing this particular word. Then, of course, we have the opposite, detach. To detach is to let go, to break the join. You detach one thing from another. So there you have the opposite of attach, detach. And again, we can use this as a way of showing that two things are not joined. They are separate from each other. Detached is not joined. They are apart. They are separate from each other. You can see here the opposite of what I just showed. Houses that are joined together are attached. Houses that are apart are described as detached. Detached houses are not joined together. They are separate from each other. There is space in between them. Quite often, people hope or wish to live in a house that is not joined to other people. And then, of course, we have the derivative. Where does it come from? Why do we have the word attach, Mr. Duncan? Well, the word attach derives from Old French. It is connected to the word fasten or tie something. Traditionally, it related to tying something to a stake that was in the ground. Maybe a person would be attached to a stake, or a flag might be attached to something. So that is where the word comes from. Of course, there are many ways of using this particular word as the synonym tie to. You tie one thing to another. You attach things together. You connect things. You attach one thing to another. Those things connect. They join together. They are put together. If you put things together, it means you join them. You create something by joining things together. Quite often we use the word attach when we are building something, maybe a piece of furniture that you've bought from the shops, and you have to put it together yourself. You have to attach things together. You put those things together. You fix one thing to another. You fix things together. You attach those things. And then, of course, we can say that you form a bond. The word bond means things that are locked together. They are joined together. They are attached to each other. So there you can see there are many ways of expressing the word attach in daily life. And that, as they say, is that. I hope you have become attached to my English lessons. If you have, then I look forward to seeing you next week, because we have the new year next week. It will be 2026. Of course, the new year actually arrives on Thursday, but I'm not with you on Thursday, but I am back with you on the 4th of January 2026. I have to say, that sounds really strange. It feels weird saying that. But I will see you in 2026. January the 4th is when we are back together again. Thank you for your company today. Thank you very much to Christina. Thank you, Pedro, as well. Thank you very much, Pedro, for joining today also on the live chat. Don't forget, if you like this, as Pedro just said, please smash the like button. So feel free to like and also subscribe as well. If you like what you see, then give me one of these and I will be ever so pleased with that. Thank you very much. If you want to subscribe, feel free as well. I've had quite a lot of new subscribers over the past few days, over the Christmas period. So it is always nice to see new people joining on the live chat. Giovanni Rivette, thank you very much for joining me today. Also Sandeep Singh, hello to you. Where are you watching at the moment? Thank you very much for joining today. I will also say hello to Maurizio. I hope you have a super duper new year. Also St. Finta. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Thank you for an amazing live stream today and have a happy new year. Thank you very much. I hope you have a happy new year as well. I hope everything goes as planned. I hope it all goes well. Beatrice, thank you for joining today as well. Saturino, thank you for being here with us. Also, Paco, hello to you as well. I believe earlier you said you wanted to retire, but you are still young. You are only 37. 37 is like a child. You are so young. You don't need to stop working just yet. Also, we have Valentin. Thank you very much for joining us today. Irene, thanks for joining as well. Can I wish you all a good, happy and, dare I say, peaceful 2026. I want everyone to have a good, happy, peaceful new year. Is that possible? Do you think it will happen? Do you think peace will return to the world next year? I hope so. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of the English language, saying thanks for watching, thanks to Mr. Steve as well for joining us earlier, and I will see you in the new year, which of course is only 1 week away. I will be back with you next Sunday. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Stay happy, stay safe, please. Keep that smile upon your face as you walk amongst the human race. And I will see you very soon. And of course, ta-ta for now. See you next year. Happy 2026.
Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat. Learn together and have fun. Say goodbye to Duncan and all the lovely words and phrases of the English language. Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat and discover all the words and phrases of the English language. Learn together and have fun. Join with Mr. Duncan on the live chat.